right, I believe we are live. So happy New Year, 2024, right? Happy New Year. I'm so excited to have you guys all with us as we start our new Instructor Insights this year. If we look at 2024 versus 2023, uh, we're going to kind of change it up a little bit. So 2023 was on point. This year, it's going to be 1 point. Now, before I define 1 point, I think it's important we look back at some of the topics we expanded in our on points in 2023. So I'm going to pick 1 point from each of those. And we had so many different topics covered, from law enforcement, private sector information, trauma interviewing, strategies, different techniques, even had some quotes that were covered. What I would love for you to do is, as we go into 2024, we want to make this a little bit more interactive. So I'm going to ask you to chat with us as we're going through. If you remember one from last year, enter it in the chat box. I want to see them. And I'm actually going to insert a link here so that you have it in case you missed something from last year for those replays. Let's see, we've talked about interviewing a hostile suicidal subject, planning and preparation, overcoming resistance, building rapport, the lie, false confessions, cognitive interviewing, maintaining positive relationships, self-care for the investigator, choosing wisely, showing respect, and asking the right question the right way. So what I've done is I've pulled a bunch of them here, and I've got them in front of me. And so I'm gonna pick a few to give some takeaways that I took from each one. 1 point from each of those that I looked at. I'm not going to go through all 12 months with you. So Sam, I'll start with him in March. He had a quote, and I want to make sure I say it right here. It says, humble leadership and the right decision to make when you or another is not the best interviewer for a specific interview. It's to remind us to always have discussions. Who's the right person to go in to talk to this person? Maybe I'm not the right person. We want to make sure that we are making this person as comfortable as we can in an uncomfortable situation. Juan's quote in May, not all glitter is gold. It made me chuckle. It also reminds us as investigators to dig deeper in our interviews, right? To gather more information. Then Keith and June stressed the point of comparing facts to statements made by subjects. So that way we can validate that information. We can make sure that we're collecting information that is actionable, that we can go prove, and that helps us avoid any chances of obtaining false confessions. In August, Brian hit a topic near and dear to me. His discussion was how to mitigate the impact of what we hear and see daily, and the benefits of self-care for ourselves and interviewers. We have to take care of ourselves. Some of us are hearing some of the worst possible things in our conversations, and we have to take care of ourselves. It's going to affect us. Now, to change it up from something serious to a little bit lighter, I found it funny that Brett in our office said in October that we need to eliminate if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. While true, anybody that knows Brett knows that he's always broken down. Just kidding with you, brother. It's a serious point. We need to make sure that we're always moving forward, right? I mentioned a quote. The quote that Amanda had mentioned in hers was from Colin Powell. He has on his desk that he displays this quote, and I want to make sure I get it right here. Of all the manifestations of power, restraint impresses people the most. Powerful words for interviewers and life in general. So to wrap up 2023, Jason discussed salsa. It's Friday. Have you ever had the salsa? You know, the smells and I've got a friend of mine's mother makes the best salsa. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? Anybody have their mouth watering yet? Now, Jason didn't actually talk about salsa, but he did remind us that sensory exploration can help us gather more information that we might have missed with the common sensory observations by the sound or by the voice. Just from a memory impact statement, Think of what the oh gosh, think about the sounds that remind you of things, or smells that remind you of things, or tastes that remind you of things. Those are all things that are going to be useful to gather more information as you're conducting interviews. So as we move on to 2024, you want to look at, I've got papers flying all over the place to make sure I cover everything. So on to 2024, the new WZ Instructor Insights. This year, we're looking into 1 point on our first Fridays, and here's what we're looking for. Is there one thing at any given point in time that matters more than anything else when it relates to how we conduct an interview, for example? Is there a potential, something we are currently doing that is unnecessary or can be done better? What is the 1 point? In fact, I want to give you another quote, another option here. All right, because this is the interactive portion where we're gonna ask you, what is that 1 point or multiple points preventing you or your team from being more effective at what you do or what they do? I want to give you some starting points. Is there an organizational, department, or individual issue that we need to discuss? Is there anything missing from planning, preparation, interview, or investigative processes? As I was reading through this, one of the things that was reminded me of, a lot of our clients talk about, for example, receiving written statements. That might be one thing that we could do in a better way. I mean, that's just an example. Another question, is there a situation causing frustration, anxiety, lack of empathy, or conflict? As you answer those questions, we want you to share them with us, and that's why I put the link in there. So that way, it's an interactive piece. You are providing to us what we'll discuss and expand on each and every month. We're looking to challenge your knowledge and ensure you and your teams are using the latest evidence-based and proven interviewing skills available. We want to help by providing you the tools to be successful, right? So set yourself up to be a continued success in 2024 with that one thing you can do every month, which is be here at the WZ YouTube every first Friday at 9 a.m. That's one thing. So my last 2 points as I wrap up today is we'll see you in February. And two, we hope that you all have a wonderful 2024. Thank you for watching and hope to see you again soon.